Hey, bitches.
Hello.
Sup,
Hello.
bitches?
Hello.
Hey, sup? Hey. We're already getting ding-a-lings, everybody.
Ding-a-ling.
I heard a ding, and it wasn't on my end, and the only reason I know is because I literally just turned Do Not Disturb on.
I didn't see a ling though.
No, I heard it. Somebody got a text.
You said no. I said a ling.
Ding-a-ling.
Ding a ling.
Ding-a-ling. Ding-a-ling. Oh, wow. Desiree looks funny. She's like...
Yeah, because it wasn't connecting, and I was like trying to do it.
Wasn't
now
me?
it sounds funny to me.
All right. Hi, Anissa. Welcome. Welcome. How are you doing this week? And Katrina's here. Hi, Katrina. You know, the more you and I talk books, I wonder if you and I are book twins. Like, do we just
What? No, we're book twins.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be a conversation.
That's just rude. That's just
book cousins.
We should find this out later. Like, see how many of our books that we.
You could say triplets, but it's
okay, but we might be triplets then.
Wow, you just need to be in on it.
Yeah. Are you a big?
I was here first.
Are you a big mystery thriller lover? See, we're gonna find these things out later. We're gonna play a little fucking common ground.
A little.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pull this bitch out of my cute little back here, my book sleeve. My nail polish looks like shit because Bella did it.
So you know what? I got I'm going to get my nails done tomorrow. But look at
good. Just show us those 3 today, and you'll be fine.
How long do you
Luckily,
walk
it's not
around like that?
Voting today, like they fell off. I'm like, I texted like, do I have an appointment coming up? They're like tomorrow. I was like, great, perfect timing.
Hi, Rebecca. You're here, even though you're not feeling well, which is wonderful. And Teen might be joining us. She's putting her baby down for bed and is, as children do, making it super easy on her. So,
as children do, we read it. That was this week, right?
As children do, go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love that story that it was in there because I love that book.
Yeah. And Rebecca mentioned last week, obviously, that she was like kind of part of the craze at that time because she had gotten it for her friend.
Oh,
and didn't realize that it was such a big deal until later. It was kind of fun. It's fun when you get to like be kind of a part of those like Kickstarters. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right. So how was everybody's week? Is everybody tired? Did everybody enjoy their reading? Did everybody finish? Are we all caught up?
I did finish. My shower broke yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
But what's wonderful about the breakage, it affects the whole house because it's this component that is connected to the main line that is busted. So we have to turn off the whole main water
line.
So when we got to flush the toilet or after, then we had to go outside and turn the main line on to fill it and all that stuff. And when we turn it on, it starts leaking. And the part is from the UK. So we're going to call them tonight at midnight when they open.
And they open in the morning.
And hopefully we'll get it.
Today?
Huh? It broke last night.
Okay.
And then it'll probably take 2 weeks to get it.
Wait.
No.
So if this is the main line, this is not like a city issue?
No. It's the component of our shower is connected to the main. Like you can't where it's at, where it's sitting. There's not a valve.
Okay.
But we might call a plumber to see if they could put a valve to that pipe so that we can disconnect it from the rest of the house. So
they could actually cap it off. Technically.
Yeah.
Then
that's what we're.
Maybe like a temporary cap, not like a permanent cap.
Yeah, till.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not fun. That's not a great way to end your week.
No, I'd be in a hotel.
So I was up all night. Well, we have water. We can use it. Like it just squirts. Yeah. But so I was up all night just thinking about that.
Just squirts.
I mean,
wow.
Are we talking about book besties again? Okay, everyone. And Teen is here right on time, this bee. Look at her.
Hi.
Go down. How is she?
She's okay. Just a big old lump on her head. But oh my God. Ran right into my sister's kitchen table, which is one of those like wooden, like real from a tree, you know?
Well, like my sister's.
And
Like real wooden furniture.
Is it one of those situations where she used to be able to run underneath it and she just got taller?
No.
Okay, never mind. No, you don't need to. It just happened.
It just happened. She just do bam.
Like just kids being kids, running through shit, and then
Yep.
No, that's how I got a scar. I was little and I was running. I would run under the table, and then one day I couldn't run underneath it anymore.
Oh shit! Domo got too tall.
Surprise! I can grow.
Oh my God. Okay, Mom says to fill your tub. And
yes,
she has in there. They've been dealing with all kinds of plumbing issues for like a while now. But yeah, remember to always fill your tub when you realize you have a plumbing issue, because then you can flush.
Yes. And I had it full last night, but then there was a leak.
It all over again.
Yeah, so.
Oh my goodness. Well, anybody else have anything they want to talk about from this week?
I'm continuing on my 52-week cleanup.
Oh.
I'm continuing on it.
Are you still at your bedroom?
Didn't do. No, I mean everything that I took out of my bedroom is still sitting in the hallway of my bedroom, like outside though. But it's outside the room, so like it counts, right?
Yeah. You didn't make its way back in. You didn't reclutter. We're good.
I didn't reclutter. And so it's sitting outside there, and then basically I didn't have any energy this week. I had a multi-day migraine off and on. And so I didn't have like the energy to do anything in my bathroom, which is week 2. So I did it today.
Yay!
I took all of the stuff off my wall from when I had Odin.
Like what wall? Like, or what was on the wall?
It's like a what do you call it? It's like an affirmation wall, basically.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The body opens like a big fucking flower. I got this. You know, you can do anything.
I feel like you need that up right now to get through these weeks.
Right? Maybe I'll dig it out.
What you need to do is just put one in every room. So there's at least somewhere in each room that you can look and be like, all right, you're right. I got this, bitch. I got this.
If Cinderella can do it, so can I.
Rebecca, I told you to remind me. You definitely didn't do that. So
I'm reminding you now. Oh my God. Are you obsessing over chapstick right now? Because I am. My lips could not be more dry.
Oh my God.
All this week, every time I smile, my whole center lip split.
Oh.
And then poor Bella had it. She wakes up and she's like, Mom, I think I didn't drink enough water yesterday. How does this girl, how is she smarter than me? I don't even know. But she's like, I need to go drink some water. My lips are dry. And I'm like, I just add chapstick instead of drink water.
Our air has just been like uncharacteristically dry here.
Aww.
And my little girl has that like red ring.
Oh
We're like,
the kid ring?
Coco does that. Coco does that.
They've been sucking on like a Gatorade bottle and got it all stuck in there forever. Yeah. Or they have constant popsicles.
Oh,
They do that.
yeah.
Aiden, always, our oldest, he always had that.
I'm like, that's not how you fix it.
My dad what he would do is he'd get like the oils. He's like, get the oils around your forehead and then rub that on.
So like natural oils.
It actually work. I don't know that I want to smell my greasy scalp on my face though.
You know, because he was like, it came from your body. You're putting it on your body. But there's other things that come from my body that I don't want on my body.
It feels like it would break me out, but
right? That does feel like that would be a little.
Maybe it's like in you're in a pinch situation.
Right. Yeah. That's like we're like driving in the car and
like did anybody ever watch Bear Grylls like way back?
I love that guy.
When he would piss into a snake skin, if you're dehydrated, you drink it.
No, I didn't watch that one. No,
that was the episode Desiree remembers.
That's the only one I fucking.
If I saw that episode, I would probably remember.
And he slept in the skinned sheep. No, but yeah, I remember that one.
I watched Survivor Man. I like Survivor Man a little bit better.
I liked Bear Grylls. That was great, and I liked
He was
Survivor Man. I think
very intense for me. Bear Grylls. He was very like,
Yeah.
you know.
he is a little.
I mean,
Survivor Man was more calm. Like
time and a place.
Sorry, my dog is like chewing on a bone in the loudest way possible.
Why are dogs like this?
Cracking it like next to me, and I'm like, why?
I love dogs.
oh, I just heard it now.
I love dogs, but why do we have them?
No, but what?
They're so
Why?
loud.
Literally eating the
loud.
bone of another animal. on the
Yeah,
floor.
and you have pits, right? Or
I have a pit. Yeah.
okay, yeah. They're a little obnoxious. I remember I had one. Desiree has two, also obnoxious. And Great Danes, I have two of those assholes. So maybe it's just me, but I feel like they are a breed that has pretty severe OCD. Like obsessive compulsive
Which
dogs.
ones?
Like
The pits?
Great Danes.
Oh, Great Danes.
These
Probably.
dogs will lick for 3 hours in the same spot and act like they never licked it. And I'm like, can you just
That's
fucking
lucky.
stop? Like, I want to kill you at this point. This is exhausting. And also, my sensory processing has had enough.
Yeah,
I'm always like, hey, do that on your own time. Not here.
Privacy.
Your own time.
Privacy.
Another room.
You're not alone.
Another room.
You're not alone. It's not me time. This is us time.
Yeah.
Us time.
Yeah.
Would you like me to just start screaming? I'm gonna find. I bet that's annoying.
They don't care.
Bet it is annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Every day I ask my husband why the fuck we have dogs. I love these dogs. I really do.
No, yeah.
And our kids are like, Mom, I wish they could just tell us what they're thinking.
No. No. Have you seen the videos where they have the buttons? No.
Oh, my dog has a button. Yeah, we have the buttons.
Dog has
we trained the puppy to use the button to go outside because he was having accident after
Does it
accident.
say outside or is it just like a bell for you, like a doorbell?
So we record. You can record your voice.
Yes. Oh no, you don't start that.
Okay, so we've been doing it since we got him in September.
Don't go further than that.
Senior won't use it. She just stands there and stares at the button.
I'm going to come to her house and I'm going to change her button to say bitch every single time.
If you think that my kids have not already spent all day, every day since September changing the recording, you haven't been here. Let me tell you. So it just says outside, and we put one at the two back doors that we have taking them outside. So he has not had an accident in the house as a puppy since we got those buttons. He taps it. When we don't listen, he taps it, outside. And if we tell him no, he'll fucking lay on it.
Whose voice is it?
Whoever recorded it. Originally, it was CJ. The kids go through and they'll say outside. They'll sing outside. They'll sing a song and then maybe say outside. They'll do all kinds of annoying shit. The kids will record screaming into it. So when it goes and they go and tap on it, it starts screaming at them and they just stare and they like turn their head like fucking. They're so confused why they're getting yelled at.
I saw this one video that it was so sad. It was a dog that has like all the tap buttons, which freaked me out because like I don't want to know that much information because now I feel obligated. I don't want to feel obligated. But this one, for some reason, they had, so it was a video. The dog was alone because they had like their inside camera, whatever, and the dog just pressed return. It said return, and started looking for the owner. And then went to the front door looking like, you're not returning. What? I pressed the return. And it was the saddest thing. And the person wrote, like, I'm never going shopping again. DoorDash forever. I see like stuff like that. Because the dog doesn't understand. The dog thinks I can press it and then they'll return. It doesn't work that way, little doggy. And
hi, Regina. Welcome. How are you doing? So I'm finding a lot of our bitches are also cheating on us in Book Talk Baddies. Fuck y'all, first of all. I'm there too.
Wait, what?
It's another Facebook group. I'm just fucking with you guys. It's another Facebook group. I mean, we have to like clearly find our competition and see what the hell they're up to ever. But Book Talk Baddies.
Is that why I'm in there? I'm not in there for that.
No, I know. We all know why Desiree's in there. There's no confusion there. But anyways, every time I post something or see a post and I see one of our bitches go and like it, I'm like, fucking knew it.
Oh my God. Listen,
And then
Mom,
I
calm
love
down.
them even more. And then I love them even more. Katrina.
Oh my God, she called you out. Oh my God.
I feel a
I
little.
just feel like she and I are book besties. Probably sometimes more than you and I are, because again, you don't like any of the fun suspense thriller, and I think she
That was rude.
does, but
I'm in there. I'm guilty.
Honesty is the best policy, right?
I wasn't trying to hide it. I promise.
I'm a prowler on that one.
Don't come for me. I'm also in Kindle Girlies.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one
HD
is.
Carlton.
Okay, I'm in that one.
Chantel.
I'm in the there's whatever one Desiree found me in with like Book Lounge or something.
Oh,
They closed one.
They
And then
closed
opened
one.
another
Yeah,
one like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's all right. We all got side gigs. That's okay.
Wow.
Side boot.
But every time they ask for a book box recommendation, I'm like,
I know, and that's when I'm like,
Thank
you know
you.
what, our bitches. Carry on. Carry on.
man. See, that's why I'm
Oh, that's why. Okay.
That's why I'm in there.
That's why I
Good answer.
Because then I forget, you know, when they do like those like Saturday promo days where they're like, hey, promote a business here. I forget what day it is. And then I go to do it and it's Sunday and I'm like, well,
whoops.
guess I won't. I don't want to get kicked for not following rules. So, anyways, all right. So, we are in week 2, or finished week 2 of the Moth Presents, All These Wonders, a collaboration of stories put together by Catherine Burns.
What about Ostrich Land?
What the fuck, Ma?
Ostrich Land. I mean, we never miss a chance. She's just getting that in for this week in case anyone forgot to.
Yeah,
I like it.
Ostrich Land. Oh, you want to know why that's coming up? Because I did post something this week about a bunch of ostriches breaking out of a zoo and getting chased all across town.
No way. That totally happened.
You guys need to go look. Yeah. And I think somebody just found it sad, but I was like, I was just posting it because of the ostriches and us and our obsession.
We read about it. That happened in the book.
It literally happened in the book. And I was like, wow. And I did say wow for banned in the book, but I don't think anyone got it because that might be a little obscure of a joke, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
The good ones will get it.
Real D. See what's up? Welcome. I know. I do it every week that they come.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't even say that they are here.
When they show face. Wow.
Like, you and Des switch places tonight? Good.
Hey, you know what? I try to tame it down. Okay. So we read, what chapters did we read this?
We started at the go
Go the F to sleep.
We started at go the fuck to sleep.
There we go.
Yeah, go the fuck to sleep. And then we ended with not shower, with which one was it?
A phone call?
A phone call. That one was very sweet. That phone call. All right. So just so we know, next week we are reading Who Can You Trust Through? It's a funny title. Hold on. What's it called? But also bring cheese.
I will bring the cheese.
You stop it tired from New York. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but also bring cheese. Read that one. So stop it tired from New York. It could be tired from California. Anywhere. All right. So, few good ones. That one was fun. The first one, go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, I did not know all that about how that book got started.
Right? I didn't know. I mean, I knew that it was like a thing at the time and that it became more of a thing.
Mm-hmm. I thought it didn't make I like the where he
That's not
emailed the
creepy at
person. He
all.
was like, "Can you please take it off?" And they're like, "Well, actually, I'm
Just told
sending you
He's like,
them
"Never
disregard that email, please."
Disregard. Yeah, I've been pimping you out all over. Disregard. That was like the best part.
you're good."
And I like how he had it framed the New Zealand family first people.
Oh right.
The what was it? The band his book. I'd frame that too, probably.
Yeah, yeah. That was a fun one. Hi, Sherry. You're here. I'm watching you.
He's like,
I feel like I might be in trouble.
But
Are
I
you
think
snowed in yet? I know you're getting all of it. She's getting all
oh,
the snow this week, you guys, and it's beautiful, like fluffy, tons
Ooh.
of. I think she said 16 inches yesterday, but
oh
I don't know
wow.
today, so.
whew, that's a lot.
If California gets 6 inches, snowed in. I'm kidding.
Does it
What
get
was you
any
reading earlier?
Does it snow at all by you? Gosh.
No. We get snow like once every 10 years.
Okay.
Like,
No,
You
and
get
then
snow? Okay, we
your
literally get snow.
elevation.
I do not know what word I was saying.
No.
Elevation.
Me, yeah, we are higher elevation here. So like when Pedro was like 0, right? PV was like 20 or 30 where we were. And here we're at like, what did we say it was? Like 1,500, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
1,100.
If it's
So it is a little bit higher.
it's pos.
And because we're now at like an hour or so inland, closer to the mountains and stuff, we do have like a higher chance of it. So apparently it snows here like every 10 years.
Okay.
Like every 10 years. Guess what? That shit snowed last year when we moved in.
I think I remember you.
Yeah, but not the day that I was here. So I had taken Leo down just a town over, like 12 minutes away, to go play at the arcade. And it's like raining. And I'm like, I think that's hail outside. And CJ texts me. He's like, there's snow all over the playground. And I was like, of course there is. And then we get home and it was done. But apparently 10 years ago, it had like heavy snowed. Heavy. I was like, can't wait. Hopefully we get a little bit. But at least then we know that like our mountains will get it. We can just drive up the way and we'll be like an easy.
Yeah, you're not too far, right?
Yeah. Apparently if we go down to like Julian,
the
Pie Town,
yeah,
then we can like head in a little bit further towards.
You know about Julian, Teen?
No.
Julian's this
But I love
little town in the middle of nowhere between like where I am and San Diego.
It's like a gold mine town.
Yeah. And they are just known for their pies though.
Mm-hmm.
Their apple pies.
And their jellies. They're right.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Oh,
I love pie.
Yeah. I'll send us snow. We have plenty of it. You sure do. Oh my goodness. Okay, so did anybody have a favorite story out of the ones that we read this week? Or maybe a least favorite that they read?
I like the story, and I don't remember what it was called, but I like the story by Tig Notaro about her mother and kind of connecting with her stepfather, where he kind of is like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't
R2, where are you?
Yes, R2, where are you? Yeah.
Well, it's blurry. Whatever.
That was heartbreaking. Like
that was a good one though. That one ended very well.
It did.
I mean, like obviously she lost her mom at the end of that story, or whatever it was toward the end of that story, and then her stepfather finally was able to like express himself.
It's like, I see you.
Yeah,
like,
in a way that really.
Yeah, he's like, I was trying to make you me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing you.
Yeah. Desiree had saved that like quote right there and was like, oh my fucking God. That was like her saved quote for this week in our little discussion post that we usually have. So I was like, you're right. That was a goodie. Nicely done, Tig.
Yeah, I really like Tig Notaro too. Yeah. I've watched her.
Hilarious. stand-up.
Do I know who that is? I gotta look that person up
But-
now. Cause
Yeah, I was like, I can't imagine you being a fucking lawyer either.
No. She does like a web show, or they do like a web show because they don't watch any TV or like movies or anything. So they don't know who any actors are. And she has actors come on and she tries to guess like what they've been in, what their name is and stuff because she has no idea who people are. And
That would be good.
it's uncomfortable and hilarious. It's
I like that. I like that. She is so dang funny. That was a good little story though. I liked that one. I mean, obviously, like any story that like has to explain a childhood where you just don't feel enough sucks. But I think that like the ending was definitely more of like a redeeming one. It was nice that it didn't end with like, and so my mom died, and that's where it like kind of landed, where like everything just. But I also like the part at the end where she was looking for like all her mom's stuff.
Oh,
and finally calls him and it's like, "You're lucky." I was like, "Oh yeah, you are lucky you didn't fucking get rid of that shit."
yeah.
Lucky.
I got nervous. I was like, no.
I know.
I was like, what if he's like saving it for her specifically somewhere and like moved it so that like she could just take it all more easily than having to search?
Yeah.
And I was like, it seems like at this point he might.
Because he knows her now. Like,
Yeah. Now they see each other as, equals.
Yeah, I'm glad. He's like, okay, go to the closet. Look up, like,
hook up first of all and go to the closet. Yeah.
I'm down there. Yeah.
Breathe. Like,
hey, how did you guys like the fucking stepmother to a dog story?
I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Modern Family.
Can we go skip to the very end real quick to that one where she like found like somebody else had the same dog and she's like, "Oh, how old's your dog?" 18.
Yeah,
she's like,
You okay?
Yeah.
And I thought, I was like, oh no.
I'm great. I've got 13 years to work out all my problems. Oh my fucking God. Yeah. No, these dogs live how long? I gotta be a co-parent. How long?
Look, I get it. In the beginning, she was trying to be cool girl and like
the girl Kelly
with it and like
the girl Kelly. We're gonna be tight.
I'm like, after a little while, you got to be like, man, if the dog's that important to this woman, give this woman the freaking dog.
Right? I'll get you a new dog.
Give her the dog. Like,
let's get a new dog together.
Like
I get it. Yeah, dogs are important, and I love. Huh?
I was just gonna say,
Would
for
you
people,
love,
like
like-
dogs are like kids, so
Yeah, but
you're not
it's your
gonna just
dog.
go get one of your
That
kids to
dog so
love them,
important.
right?
You want because
But
that you feel
but
like
they're not.
past of yours forever. Like this person that you clearly didn't want to be with anymore, but now you're stuck dealing with them forever. I'd be like,
yeah, I'm sorry. Like when there's a
we're
breakup,
splitting everything and
somebody has
pets.
when there's a breakup, somebody got to take the dog.
Well, I remember my friend had a shared dog with her boyfriend, and when they're like, she's like, I know we're breaking up, so the dog wasn't registered, but she went that day. She's like, I'm going to get the dog registered right now, just under my name, just in case he tries to like claim it's his dog,
Yeah,
and I could be like, look, it's my
file.
Receipts.
City file right now. Now they come from a dog.
And she's doing all this. I'm like, is it really that necessary? Like, and I'm, but I it is. Yeah.
People get petty. I shared a dog with an ex-boyfriend when we broke up for a little while, but I had also offered to let him have the dog upon the breakup, and he was like, "No, I'm not in a place. I can't take the dog, but I still want to see the dog." That shit waned after like 6 months. He wasn't calling about that dog no more. Yeah, he got another dog somewhere. I mean, like, this is the way these things are supposed to go. I humored him for a little while. Yeah.
Well, obviously, this chick who feels like she was still like.
She was holding on.
She was.
I mean, comments about his body.
We need to go to dinner. We need to catch up. There is no catching up needing. You want to catch up? Look at his Facebook feed.
Yep.
Wait, so back up. What happened with your friend? Did she share the dog with the boyfriend?
Who?
Yeah. Oh no! She took him.
So she claimed the dog and said, "Fuck you."
Yeah. I think at the beginning he wanted to do visits and whatnot, but then I think it just died down like your friend.
Yeah. Visitation. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Would you guys meet with the person though? Would you meet with like she did?
No, I would not be sharing a pet with anybody that I used to date.
But would you meet with the girlfriend of the? I don't know that I would stay with the.
I wouldn't have to worry about it. I would not be sharing a pet.
Yeah.
There would be no need to meet this bitch.
Yeah. That's what I was like. Really? But...
Yeah.
Except the the gal that CJ dated before we met, he literally worked for her dad. So that was a little weird.
Oh, okay.
A little weird, but moving on.
It happens.
I do remember the day he was like, "Man, she's got to come over and get her shit," and I was like, "Does she?
Can't you just put it in a box outside?"
Put it outside.
Yeah.
He's like, "It's a whole bed. She's gonna take it down." I was like,
"So we've been on her bed."
It's not your bed. Yeah, we got one more round before she's here.
Oh my God.
I hope she finds this
As mom and my mom are here with us today.
But also mattresses are expensive, so
yeah. That
I'm coming to get that bed.
Yes.
We went to a twin bed after that for several years.
Hey, twin beds are cozy.
Twin bed tells you whether or not you're gonna stay with somebody.
Yeah.
Nope. The answer is no.
No. And here we are in a king bed. Twins.
In a king bed.
We're having two twins. Yeah. Hey, hold on. You gotta like fucking run across your bed just to like.
Oh.
Yeah, they're that far away now.
Are you?
So we're still in a queen bed. So when we go to hotels and we're in a king bed, it feels so
spread out.
We're like,
hey, you over there?
You like snowing?
Come meet me in the middle.
Right?
No,
we occasionally do.
I get unreasonably angry if it's less than a king when we have to go places and like the kids are with us. So you obviously have two double beds, which is bullshit. It makes me so angry. You go sleep with another kid, a smaller person, so I can sleep with a smaller person. So it's like we have more bed. Leave me alone.
Oh my gosh.
My babies are in my bed. So, and I know you get that. What?
You just push those two doubles together, and there you go. You've got
Can
the
you?
Yeah.
Are you fucking for real?
Why not?
They're
Well,
not
some
like,
can.
For some reason, I thought that they were like built in.
Well, some are. It depends.
I feel
like about you can put a bed spacer. It's like a little thing that goes between beds. It's like a T.
She's saying like in a hotel.
Oh.
Yeah. Push the beds together.
Some you can.
Yeah. Bring. Yeah.
If I somehow
lay a towel
bed,
in between. You're good to go.
Next time I'm at a hotel, I'm calling you to be like, they don't go together.
Well, some do. It depends. Some are built into like you have the ones that are built into the wall that are like
can't move that, but
no. Some you can.
I'm gonna put the mattresses on the floor.
There you go. That's right.
Honestly, we got two kids that still want to be in our bed every time we travel, so there's no fucking point. We're like, you got one, I got the other. Yeah. See you in the morning.
We've done that where like we try to like then sneak out of the bed.
And then they get sad and like dramatic.
Or they wake up and they know. They become like the heat-seeking missiles, and they understand and they'll find you.
Yep, they fucking do. Yes, they fucking do. All right, you guys. I really liked Panic on the Road to Jericho. What a good fucking cool story about anxiety and not asking for help and acting like you're big britches all the time, and then finally realizing that you actually have to lean on other people.
I love his little or her little like, kid voice. She's like, "Do it self.
Do it self."
Like, yep.
Yeah. I'm good. Do it self.
I'm with Rebecca. I didn't like it.
So I get that because as I was reading it, I was like, I get the feeling some people are going to have a panic attack while reading this, or that they're going to feel the anxiety. So I felt the anxiety while reading this. I went into full anxiety with this character. And then I was like, how are we getting out? How are we getting out?
We're walking back. We're walking
leave your stuff and get out. When I read that.
Goodness for Sharon.
Leave your stuff and get out. That's when I didn't feel anxiety until I read that part. Right.
I was like, that bus is going over for sure.
Yeah, at that moment I thought the bus was going over the edge, and I was like, "Oh,
right, like everybody off." Oh my
like,
fucking what?
Poor person's worst nightmare is.
Thank you. You want me to say? You want me to what? No.
Yeah. This poor person's worst nightmare is actually happening, and like, so those specific scenarios don't give me anxiety, like tight mountain roads and things like that. That's not a problem for me. However, the husband. The climbing mountain road, like this is his nightmare. This would actually like, and then the bus is like sliding off the side, and they're like, "Everybody, leave your stuff and get off the bus." Like,
hey, so everything's good. We made it. You want to get back on? No.
Yeah. No.
Right?
She's not getting on.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, Sharon. She's not. You need a Sharon.
I love that. Like strangers gave her a ride too. Like
that was
wrong.
So
super cool.
They probably knew it too. They're like, we've seen this bus.
We've seen this. That would be a job. Like you just, hey, we got you. You got stuck.
Well, I remember. I don't know if you guys ever been on. There's like at Catalina Island. They have a bus tour where it's really tight. It's like an old school bus. It's probably new now, but this is back in the like early 90s.
Smart, you do the golf cart one, right?
Well, there's like a bus on on a tight mountain, and I was in with my grandma, and my grandma she cursed like crazy, and we're turning, and she just started screaming and cursing at the driver, and just going off and freaking out. So when I read this, like I knew it was like 10 times worse than that experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So did anyone look up the road after reading?
No. Did you?
No, I was picturing it the whole time.
It's a snuggy road. It's a snug one. So I chose not to look until I had come down from reading it. You can see videos on YouTube of people like.
What was it called?
The Road to Jericho.
Yeah, I think it's from Jericho to Bethlehem.
Yeah.
So you can. I'm not sure what would scare me more though, getting back on the bus or getting in a car with random dudes in a foreign country where we probably don't speak the same language. But I still don't think I'd get back on the bus. Yeah, well, clearly they spoke, do you need a ride?
Right. Is everything okay?
I might get kidnapped right now, but I'm not getting back on the bus.
You know, sometimes you just get a feeling about people that like they're there to help. I've had perfect strangers stop and help me like with my car. Okay.
Yeah.
I hydroplaned my first car at like 16 on the highway and ended up like in a ditch on the side of the highway. And it was like late at night, and these two guys, they were driving a Jeep. They saw what happened. They pulled off the side of the road. They helped me push the car out of the ditch.
That's cool.
Like,
that's nice.
Thank you, strangers, for saving my life. Like,
yes. Yeah. I always want to be that person, except the only time I'm ever needed is when I have my kids in the car, and I will not.
Is this it?
Yeah.
It's a pretty tight little mountain pass there.
And I think then it's like a bus, you know.
And then there are
tour
cars
buses
the other way.
And cars. It's a one lane. Yeah. Not two, not one in either direction. It is a single. So you got to snug yourself to the side for them to pass, or wait for like a smidge of an area wider to pass. It's like when we go down to the Tiger Creek. It's like, ooh, just squish against the wall a little.
I'm
All right,
to see
Helena
a car on
Island
this road,
reminds me
but
of Step
nothing's
Brothers.
coming up.
Yeah, it does.
I'm like the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Catalina wine mixer. The amount of times I've wanted that like shirt or something like the fucking Catalina wine mixer. Oh my god.
Popped her in. It's gonna.
Okay, so at the end of Panic on the Road to Jericho, here's my quote. The next morning, I was the first person at breakfast. There was this light streaming in the window, and I felt cleansed like you do after a good cry or a hard rain. And I realized that whatever I was trying to protect on that road was taken from me. But I knew I'd experienced what felt like a spiritual exfoliation by way of humiliation.
Like that one. Yeah.
I was like, why when I started that story, I thought I was a dude?
I did too. I don't know why.
I'm not sure.
It's because they're priests and like in your
that's
head.
Why.
The same priest?
Yeah, it was a whole group of like Lutheran priests or priests.
Oh,
that was why.
So,
and then I looked her up. She's so fucking badass looking. She got fucking tats from the
also
neck
she's
down
there,
and
yeah.
this like gorgeous silver hair that was like short at the time, but I think is growing out now, like from her Insta, because I'm a stalker, and she's just like adorable and sexy and like older and like tatted, and I'm like,
I love you.
God,
Something
I
about
don't want to be a priest or anything, but if I wanted to date a priest, it'd be her.
Something about the clergy is really doing it for Todd.
Hey, when they're like tight up to here and you find out that they're not anyway down, like from down there, it's not like that. It's interesting.
What did I just come back into?
I don't know when you
probably one of your favorite books. Who knows?
I came back to like you're into priest ladies.
Yeah, you came in the right time.
To each their own. You came in right at the right time. That's exactly what was said. That's exactly what you heard.
Is it? It might be Sierra Simone. It's
I
someone. They have
her up and the Road to Jericho. We all like at the beginning thought that she was a he priest. She was not. If you look her up, she's a sexy tatted priesty lady. She's
sexy tatted priesty lady.
You should read the book Priest by Sierra Simone. I'll get it on Audible.
Okay. How many Audible books is everyone reading? Like, and do they have like from the fucking drop of a hat when you hear them start to read like the beginning, like this is the title and it's written by so and so, narrated by so and so. At that point, I'm judging whether or not I'm going to be able to listen to this book.
Oh yeah, the voice.
Yeah,
the voice.
You can sample it before you get it.
I don't play that game. Because you already have all of them, so I just go and start.
Oh. So I sample them, unless I know it's for sure a book I'm going to listen to.
Yeah.
But I will sample them before
a nope. Or a nope.
I listened to Midnight Sun, the Twilight book.
Did you?
On Audible.
And?
It was like listening to Ben Stein read a
book.
And I was
sounds horrible.
So like, why would they get the blandest human alive to read this book? I don't understand.
Was that the only
I read
version?
a book like that recently once.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
I was like, but why?
I don't remember who read them before. Okay, but did you like the book? Because I haven't read it yet.
I mean,
Was that a new one?
It was Twilight again.
It's not that new.
No, it's
the
first couple years.
From Edward's point of view.
Oh, I remember hearing. Okay.
So like all the same things happen.
Just I remember.
His inner dialogue now, and to be honest, it's better than hers was.
Desiree looks like she's looking up at Domo, like, bitch, what you say? That's exactly what you look like right then. You were like, bitch.
You can't see it, but it's like right here.
All the Twilights.
Yeah. This is my Stephanie Meyer shelf.
I love it.
I refuse.
I have 3 books up there I haven't read yet.
It was annoying. I tried to stay out of that world.
Maybe I was just annoyed with him because of his voice. I don't know, but it was just
Like they couldn't have fucking paid Robert Pattinson.
Dude. Yes.
Anybody.
Just saying.
I need to hear it now. Hold on. I'll just play the sample. Hold on.
Okay.
We won't get in trouble.
And then we're going to get into the next story here. We need to get through these before it's story time.
All right. Okay. Ready? Hold on. I have to turn my volume up because I turned it down before.
His thoughts never felt intrusive because he never thought one thing that he would not say
Slow
aloud
down,
or
slow
put into
down.
action.
Desiree and I don't.
Guilty reading the other's minds
I'm sorry.
because
Hold on. I'll
I knew
slow
there
it
were
down.
things inside that they wouldn't want me to know. If Rosalie's mind was a stagnant
This is
pool,
him?
then Emmett's was a lake
Is
with
that
no
one?
shadows.
Is that at
That's
1.0?
clear. And Jasper was
Is that at 1?
suffering. I suppressed a sigh.
I turned it down.
Alice called my name in her head and had my attention at once.
That would be great to listen to fall asleep to.
I like his voice though. That's not terrible.
It is.
Okay, but put it at like 1.5 where we usually listen to.
I was at 1.3. That's my average.
That's what you started at?
Your average is
No, it was at 1.3. Yeah, it was 1.3 when it started. The 1 was what you guys listened to when you said slow down. This is what
The
talk
same as
listens
having
to.
my name called aloud. I was glad my given name had fallen out of style in the last few decades. It had been annoying in the past. Anytime anyone thought of any Edward, my head would turn automatically.
ADHD.
My
I
head.
listen that fast.
No, I can't.
That
If
one
I
is
want to
actually
listen to
sped up just like a little more than I would like based on his actual like inflection and tone. So I would probably listen to that at like maybe like a 1.2, which is really fucking slow.
That is
The
what
brain
I
gets tired of that.
to it at. And I mean, I think it was like I don't know. It was a total like 6 hours or something. And I was just like, this man is just talking like this. Like I felt like he was not inflecting.
Who does it say was the voice actor for that one?
Jake.
Can you click
Jake
like their
Abel?
names to see what else they read?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh,
Okay.
so when you find one you like, you click that bitch and you're like, where else can I listen to?
Huh.
I like it. I do. And I'm like, I don't even care for like
Which is actually a little bit irritating. So Tosh and I both started listening to Cat and Mouse Duet a couple months ago. Got her onto that. I got her onto that in what, October?
Hold
maybe?
on. Most Audible books put me to sleep. Am I even retaining the story? I can get that. There are some voice actors that really are like, oh, this is good. What did I read? I'm gonna have to restart this tomorrow. That's what I do.
I love the graphic audios where it's like multiple actors and
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
like it's a whole fucking production.
I need that
Those are different.
because there's times where I go in and out of paying attention, and then I'm like, wait, who the heck said that?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I get confused.
Have like the multiple voice actors. So now, speaking of, Desiree can carry on with Haunting Adeline because it is from multiple point of views and from 2 actors, which is great.
Okay, so there are 2 actors in it. It's I don't remember who's the girl who Michelle Sparks. Okay, and then you have Joe Arden, which Joe Arden apparently can do like a lot
No,
of
that's
different...
not Joe Arden. That's Teddy Hamilton. Check again, bitch. I know my dude.
Wait, so who's on Hitched?
Anyway, Teddy Hamilton.
Oh, it is Teddy Hamilton. Okay, I'm wrong. Okay. Anyway, I started listening to the Cat and Mouse Duet, and then I guess I didn't read enough books in between because the girl who reads for the main female is in all of her books. Michelle Sparks plays all of the female leads in all of the stories. So I had to turn off a book the other day that was the same narrator, Michelle Sparks, for a different book altogether. Like not even the same characters, completely different story, but it was like it was Sibby. It was Sibby. I couldn't hear anything else, so I am correlating. This is where I feel like you need more Audible narrators because I was confusing the story, and all I could think was it's fucking Sibby from the other series. This series has nothing to do with it.
I can understand that, but I am trying to like now listen to all these like other voice actors. I'm like, fuck, you don't.
Not doing it.
You're just not doing it. I'm gonna go back to Michelle. Fuck it, Michelle. What are you doing?
No,
what are you doing
no.
right now? What
Hold
are
on.
you acting?
There was
Because there is nothing like when
emails.
Michelle Sparks says the name Zaid from Haunting Adeline. Zaid is the main male character. Okay, Michelle.
Oh wait, Michelle Sparks is her
she's
the
the voice
actor.
actor.
Oh,
The
I thought that was a
voice actor.
character
The
name.
main
No, the
characters are
narrator.
Adeline and Zaid.
Yeah,
And
okay.
when she says his name, Zaid, I'm like, I'm over here like, dang. But then Teddy Hamilton cuts in. What I love about her books, though, is that they are like dual point of view, but also when the other actor is speaking, or like when the other character is speaking in the book, the other actor is actually doing it. So you're not having to hear like the woman doing like the male's side of it, which I hate. And then you're not having to hear the man do the female's point of view or female's, conversation, whatever it is. Thank you.
Following.
At that point, I like that she does like the separate things. So you actually get it. Like even if we're hearing from her point of view, it's still like his voice when it comes in for his conversation parts. I don't know, which is less boring, but also not as theatrical as
the graphic.
The graphic like stories are
those just they keep my attention a little better than a single narrator just reading
every part.
Yeah. Yep.
I can understand that. Yeah. Do you, when you're reading in your own head, do you change voices for characters? Do you fuck around?
Oh yes, there are.
It's like, or like if you know someone is Southern, do you get like heavier in your own like accent? And then if you know someone's like from New York and it's like a dude, do you go like dude New York like up in your head? Okay, so
I hear people in my head for sure.
They sound much better in my head.
They sound much better in my head,
yes. And then I'll like read a section. I'll want to like share it, like say with you. So it's like, oh, check. And then I try to think I'm going to sound exactly like I sound, but I sound nothing.
Oh no, our video froze. I wonder where. I hope everything's okay now.
Oh,
looks like we're still going. Looks like we're still okay. But oh my god, yeah, no. When I do it, first of all, I am fucking bomb at voices in my head.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Fabulous.
They try to come out of my mouth. It's the problem. But
all of a sudden, like my lips and my tongue don't cooperate. I mean, they do when I need it to, but not when I need it to.
They don't cooperate for you.
I want it to. Yeah.
We know you heard that, Des. We know you
cooperate.
I know CJ heard that.
All right, what was the next short story that we were going to talk about?
Jenny.
Don't even know.
The next story here was Jenny. That was the story of the foster kid.
Okay, right.
Aww. Did you cry?
I didn't cry.
That
no,
one.
to talk.
I thought it was sweet. Oh yeah, because you have a closer.
That one was a little
closer to home.
That one caught me in the throat a little, and I was like, "Thank goodness I'm not popcorn reading," or I'd be like, I would have gotten caught on the words. It was sad and sweet.
But the end was so sweet when she said to him, you know,
I don't remember you being a bad kid.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, that's probably true.
It was he. First of all, is he a big ass writer? Because the way he writes, no, he does music, right?
Yeah.
No. Okay, hold on. Because she says, I don't remember you being a bad kid. I think you're being too hard on yourself. And I can't tell if she's right. Am I being too hard on myself? Or if she's just as kind as somebody raised by her parents should be. I loved her parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, am I that kind of parent? Would I be that?
They probably didn't even question.
If my kid like came home and said, "There's this issue, this kid is having. Can we open our home? What are we gonna do about this?" Would I be like that badass? I fucking would.
I picture, yeah, her right away telling the parents, and they're like, "We gotta No question.
I know. Can you imagine just being like, yeah, we'll figure it out?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
reading this made me want to more than maybe I would have. Like I might have thought about it, but now I'm like, maybe I won't think about it. Maybe I'll just do it.
I feel like her parents had been hearing about that kid and their bus rides, you know, and that he was nice and
probably told that day when he sat with, like, let's be loners together, you know.
And then they were having all those phone conversations, and you know the parents know that that's a thing that's happening as well, and you know, it's like your kid has a relationship with this other child and he's in a horrible situation. Like you can step in and do something.
And they probably know that, you know, what he's up against.
I thought the nicest moment to me was when the dad came to visit and he's like, oh, well, my dad plays piano.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he sits down and like gives them this full on jazz concert. And and he's like, I think at that moment they saw him as more than like his problem. More the issue he was having. And
oh my God, that was so good. That was such a good moment. Yeah. Because that is hard. And the only reason I can say that is because I've been through it. And I can't imagine having to go through that a little later when my kids are older. Not that it won't happen or that couldn't come later for them. But I mean, we've been there and we've had the visitation and we know what that's like, and trying to get to know these people as more than the problem that they're going through and the situation that they've gotten themselves in is for some people impossible. But for us, it was, okay, they're still humans. And what led them to these situations? And for their birth father, that's bullshit. His upbringing was incredible. He's just a piece of shit. And that is just possible. And for her upbringing was so fucking bad that when we read about it on adoption day for Leo, because they give you the entire background in a whole stack on adoption day. And anything that she said, anything that they said that was able to be included was included. And you get all of it. And I just remember CJ and I reading all of it and crying so hard for her, thinking, had we started this journey that many years sooner, we could have helped her. She wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
Would not have been in a situation because she needed a family like ours to not end up there. Right. And so we were like, but it was long before then. It was when we were first with her and alone for like a moment that we like heard what she had been through and why she was in her situation. That was it. That was enough. We're like, enough said. We got you. We're going to do everything we can. We're going to help you try and like get through this. All you got to do is show up. But it doesn't always obviously happen that way. We'll see what happens in the future. But I hope I'm as kind of a human being when my kids are teenagers, if they come back around, as I was when we were first getting to know their birth parents. We'll see.
It's hard. It's hard when you only know one thing about somebody and then you know you see that other side to them and you go, they're a 3-dimensional person just like I am.
A 3-dimensional person. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So
I think it goes back to the story last week about how important it is to listen.
Yes.
And understand where they come from. It's easy to assume when you don't know the background. Yeah. And I think that when it comes to like foster care, a lot of people just assume, like, oh, well, you know, your parents must be drug addicts and obviously they beat you, or, you know, you're super neglected. And it's like super easy assumption. A lot of the time, some of those things are true, but it's like you still don't know like the full story of why those things might be true or what might have led to that. And in particular, their birth mother's background is something that even in all of the books that I've read, like the dark books, I've still never read her story. It is still that dark. It is still the worst I've read yet, or that I've heard yet. I can't even imagine somebody writing it because it's still that bad. So it's like you really do have to look at like what other people have like been through that led them to the point where their children ended up in foster care. It's insane. Which is where our book kind of ended, or our reading ended this week, which is kind of funny. With the last story.
Oh, The Call?
Yeah, The Call, where someone who literally is in the midst of like a drug-addled confusion. They're scared, they're upset, they're on the floor, and they have a child in the other room.
Yep.
And what do you do? And they just called a number that was, in their hand. It happened to be a wrong number. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
But that person literally saved her life.
That person sat up and like woke themselves up
At 2 a.m. in the morning.
and paid, and then they could tell. She could tell that they were paying like full attention.
Full attention.
And talking, like engaging, like listening mostly, but still engaging enough.
And changed her life so much that day that her son obviously did well enough to end up in Princeton.
Yeah.
Like that was a good, I mean, that could have been in the same section. I know it was a cut to next section, but like you're just kind of what you doing?
I'm not even.
That was a thumbs down.
Not even doing anything. That shit
thumbs
something on your
down.
screen, like moving your. Anyway, yeah, I was like, oh man, what a great way to kind of wrap up that whole situation, because he saw which way it could go, and then kind of a different side of that. Like, you can still redeem yourself. You can still come back.
Yep.
All based on a stranger listening to you. Just listening.
And they're like, don't hang up.
I loved that. Don't hang up. I got something to say. I got to confess something. And I'm like, the fuck do you have to say right now, sir? Oh my God. You are. Wow.
I was wondering. I was like, what was going to happen?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I thought they were going to say that the mom was right there.
That's what you thought?
I thought something.
I thought I was going to say, like, try to get her into a rehab or,
Yeah. Something.
I knew it was I knew it was something, but I was just like, what is it?
But he's like, you dialed the wrong number. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes people just need to feel heard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
yeah, that was good. Did anybody else have? Oh, hold on. We're gonna skip Deja Vu, even though that was a sweet story about.
We're gonna go to
a temporary memory loss. That was cute.
That was crazy.
We're gonna move on.
I went back and forth with that one, but you're gonna go to Call Me Charlie.
It was not my favorite. I don't have a least favorite, but it just wasn't my favorite this week.
Mm-hmm.
Call Me Charlie.
I like that one.
Call Me Charlie.
I like that one.
This man will take down Whitey Bulger.
So wild.
And at the end is like, hey, my family's a little scared.
Yeah.
Can you just reassure them a little? Like, just a scotch. Like, reassure them we're good. And he's like, that would have gotten me anyway.
Well, and have you, so I've heard a story about Whitey Bulger that some like high school kid wrote him as part of like a class project, like wrote him in prison.
Oh,
and
really?
He, like wrote back.
Oh, funny. Well, yeah, what else is he going to do in there?
But was like super nice and was like started like a correspondence with this kid where he's like, don't do the things that I did. Like, this is what I was dumb. This was horrible. That don't do this. And was like trying to be like a really good influence on this kid who like was idolizing him clearly,
Yeah.
I see.
And he's like,
he's
no.
like, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Don't go down that path. It's not cool. Like, it's just none of the problems. But
well, Rebecca, I think because on some level he's like, but that's just Charlie, my neighbor. Like, I've known him for years, and that's just I'm not really afraid of him.
He got so mad at me for not saying thank you one year for my Christmas present. He got me stationery so I could never forget how to say thank you again. Now write a thank you letter. Even if he didn't hold anything against you, how do you like know some associate of his isn't going to take issue?
He's too old by then.
Yeah, honestly, he seemed kind of cool at that point about it, but I love me some good fucking crime thrillers, and I gotta say they're not all like that. So
I'm like, didn't your boy play Whitey Bulger in Black Mass? Was that what it's called?
I never saw that. Did I?
Who played it? Who did?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Oh, is that?
I never saw it. I haven't.
Yeah, I
saved
don't think I
one.
saw it.
Okay, please go watch that.
I don't want to hate him.
Was it good?
It was good.
Would you hate him? Did you hate
No,
him?
I didn't hate him.
Okay.
Oh.
He seemed like a nice guy, right?
We're
Yeah,
still
like-
enjoying some Johnny D.
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, obviously he did horrible things. Like, I'm absolutely not denying that or excusing it, but like I said,
But the charm is there. People have charm. People can be
people are
horrible
criminal
with charm.
I'm like, he wasn't messing with kids, so anything else I can be
There
like,
you go, yeah.
man, there's another side to you.
Yeah.
I was just reading because I looked him up because honestly, I didn't even think anything about this story until you guys were saying it. So I wanted to look up the guy. He was beaten to death in his wheelchair
Oh,
Oh, so he died?
in prison in 2018.
Ugh.
That's horrible.
How old was
I
he?
I'm not a big fan of prison. Don't go.
How old was he? Let me see.
Yeah.
What it said.
How old was he in 2018?
I think we have to talk about.
Died 11. So
89.
89.
89.
He had just turned 89 like 3 days prior.
Well, that is just sad.
Old fucking man though. Holy shit.
89.
It's full life.
Still pissing people off at 89, I guess. But
Look, I mean, honestly, at that point, you know darn well that maybe somebody that he had like fucking screwed in his past.
It was hit with a sock wrapped padlock and a shiv.
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
The families of all the people.
oh,
Welcome. We're talking about how Whitey Bulger died.
I'm reading more.
Bulger?
His eyes had nearly been gouged out and his tongue almost cut off. Old man.
Basically watched
3 men did it.
Well, he was a rat. He was a,
Oh, well, that's why they took his tongue then.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
mhm.
What
And
movie
yeah,
did I watch last night? That was
I'm
literally
getting a
what I
lot of
watched.
info from my husband behind me. He's like, he's a rat. He's an FBI informant. I'm like, keep it coming.
What did I watch last night? It was literally about that. What was it? Not about Whitey Bulger, but like being a snitch and like
Oh.
what's his name? Joel Kinnaman.
That sounds familiar.
You guys, I don't think you guys have seen it yet, but I said on Netflix to watch The Killing. He's like a side character, or he's like a co-main character to the main female detective. He's a detective. They're like up in Washington or whatever it is.
Where she's like crazy, basically.
She is, yeah. She has
Okay.
major problems. She's a redhead. Ugh, loved it. It was.
Oh, I
so-
saw that when you told me to watch it.
Yes, I know you did because you're smart.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I was telling these other bees like you got to watch it. It's a good one, and then also at the same time watch The Fall because it's like another crime, whatever. Anyways, so he was the main character in it. He also plays the dad in the series Hannah.
Oh,
the
I love
movie.
that. Yes. That's why his name sounds familiar to me.
And he was in some other.
Oh, he was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he's been in a few things, but anyways, he's in this movie last night that we watched. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. It was on Netflix. The Informant? That might be it. Yeah, this poor dude was stuck as like an informant, and oh my goodness, that was good. But it was about like literally, well, it was like Polish mafia for this one, and so like they did, what we call an Italian necktie, but I guess it's also a Polish necktie because dude was a snitch, and so he got his tongue pulled out the front. You got to see it. I was
that thing. Yeah. No, I heard about that. That's nasty.
like, got one of them neckties.
Mm.
Says his face.
Oh my god. Okay. So all right. So another one, probably the only like the last one we need to just kind of mention because it was a good story. The shower. That's a rough one.
Ooh,
I literally didn't pay attention to any of these fucking titles, so I don't know what fucking story you guys are talking about until you guys start talking about it.
Well, this was self-explanatory. The shower where they thought they were.
They thought they were literally going into a gas.
Yeah, the gas chamber.
Yeah.
Or at least all the adults who were there and knew better at the time thought that that's what was happening.
They saw the smokestack and all that.
What is everyone's fucking problem? This is exactly what I thought it was. We're getting hot water and some soap. Like, finally.
All I could think, well, first of all, I was
poor baby
terrified throughout.
You were with the mamas. I was like, how does he get out of this to tell the
story? That's what I kept thinking. Like, does this get out last minute? What? Yeah.
Is this when they come and literally, like, the whole war ends? Like, what the fuck?
Like, which of his family is going to the shower? And
yes.
Like,
when they said everybody was headed in and he's in there and they're making everybody change and he's like, this is fucking embarrassing. I don't like this at all. Everybody looks pathetic. And he's a child seeing these things. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, everybody's crying and holding each other. And then all of a sudden the fucking shower starts and we're just like, I don't get it. To be a child at the time and just be like, our situation sucks, but like we're getting a shower. Like, calm the fuck down.
So
the last shower that they got until they were rescued.
Right.
I was like, please tell me this is right when they come in and they get rescued. Tell me.
It was 1944. So
I know. So a little early, but
very
it was a year early, but yeah.
Well, that part of Europe, the war was over before we dropped bombs on Japan.
Right.
Which we are as sort of the end of World War II. But most of Europe had already surrendered by that point.
Right. Oh my God.
If you ever get the chance to visit a concentration camp, I'm actually going to highly recommend doing so.
Have you been to one?
Yes. And it was probably one of the most profound experiences of my life.
You were in Germany, right?
I was in Germany, and we visited the concentration camp called Dachau, and that it's the town where it is located is Dachau, Germany, and it was the first built one. And so all the ones that we really hear about Auschwitz and all, they're modeled
on that one. Okay.
And I mean, it's, you see the big iron gates and they say in German, work will set you free. That's what they say in German above the iron gates of all of these concentration camps. And they are just...
That's such bullshit.
It's just one of the most sacred almost places I think I've ever visited.
I would love to go.
Where you just know, like, all these things are still standing. The showers are still there. You can walk through them. The crematoriums are still there.
It's a full walkthrough, not like a walk up and look.
No, it is a full walkthrough. Like, there's...
That's a big deal.
Bunks, toilets,
everything's still there.
Everything is still there. So I was horrified the whole time reading the story.
Yeah. Because you're like, I've been there in that place where these things happened, and so it's quite different for me. Yeah.
It was just, and so my grandfather that I grew up in his house, he spent 13 months in a prison camp in Germany in World War II.
This hits home. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. So it was just, it was a terrifying story to me. Y'all all got anxiety from the road to Jericho.
No, this one held me so tight.
I kept, like, how are you going to escape? You
this was different. This was not like an anxiety one. This was like deep in my soul. I was like, get through it, bitch. This person survived. You're going to finish reading their fucking story.
Yes. And I knew the kid survived, but I was just like,
yeah, I mean, because he's telling you. You don't know how.
But you're thinking like, but what happened? Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. But I looked him up. He's old. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Old.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking up all these motherfuckers after I read their story, by the way.
I love it.
I wasn't, but now I'm going to.
It makes it better because you get to like put a face to a story that like either touched you or made you panic or kind of hit you in a way, or maybe you laughed and you're just kind of like, well, who's this funny person that I don't know?
Who's making me laugh?
But I just feel like it kind of like makes them more human, and it's not just a story. Because you can kind of, you know who they are at that point. Like you get to see their face, and like you can imagine like, you know, maybe what they would be like going through these things. So I don't know. Just kind of makes it. So it takes it up a notch. Storytelling takes it up a notch. All right. Well, does anybody else have a story that they want to mention? I don't know if we really skipped anything, but no. All right. As hard as those stories are to read or hear, it's important that we do.
Yeah.
So much more powerful than reading about it in a history book as something that happened at another time. I agree, because I feel like a lot of our experience and a lot of our knowledge about World War II history really is like we were all kind of forced to read Anne Frank's diary when we were kids. And then like just like the tidbit that like we kind of went through in junior high for the most part. When we learned all about it. And then they just kind of touched on some of that when we did a little bit of world history in high school. But I don't know. It doesn't really like give you the same feeling, obviously. Like we're adults now reading these things, and so it's going to feel different. We have kids now, which is also going to feel different. Can you imagine going through that with a child? No. No, thank you. But yeah.
No, I agree. It's important that we read them and know that these things happen, because that generation is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's really, you know, the last of them are finishing out their lives. And so it really will only be like stories passed down and in history books versus like, you know, a first person's account. So for anyone who hasn't read Dark Enough to See the Stars yet, it is downstairs. I've been waiting to read this one for that exact reason, because it is so real. So feels very real from this perspective. Yeah.
So I read All the Light We Cannot See, which is now a show.
Yes, I also have that downstairs. 2 books I've been avoiding. You ever just like avoid a book because you know it's going to be good and profound and you're not ready?
What book is that? You just said the last one?
All the Light We Cannot See.
Okay.
The Pulitzer Prize winner. It's a show on Netflix right now. And I will say, for anyone who hasn't read it, it is a slow burn. Like, I almost wanted to give up on this book because I could not see where this was headed. I'm so glad I finished it.
What was that book about?
Huh?
What was that book about?
So All the Light We Cannot See is about 2 different characters during World War II. And they both start out as small children and sort of grow. But I just couldn't see how their stories were going to intersect. And I'm so glad I finished it. People ask me all the time, why do you finish books if you're, you know, like halfway you're not loving them? And I'm like, because sometimes they fucking surprise you.
Bingo. I will never DNF.
This book,
that's why.
I'm like so glad I read that. Like it finished up so well.
Good. That might help us all get through it.
Yeah.
That alone.
Slow burn.
I promise you, get to the end.
Yeah.
Keep seeing this show, but I want to read it first. Dude, this is exactly why I've been avoiding All the Light We Cannot See as well.
Yep. Me too.
And all the awards and like, I'm like, don't fucking pay attention, bitch. Don't look at them spoilers. I heard the show and book are very different. Have you seen the show yet?
I've not watched the show yet.
Okay.
Just time.
If you do happen to do that, I'll appreciate your points of view on these things. So
contrast.
Do share. Yeah. All right. Where are we at? We did have another prompt for storytelling this week. I don't know if anybody else is going to share. I have a short one. It's not even 5 minutes, I'm sure, that I will share. I know what our 4 prompts will be, so I was kind of waiting to share until I had something to say, and I wasn't sure that I was going to share this week, but just came up with something anyway. So, just in case. So, our prompt this week to share was reflect on a crossroads in your life where a decision led to a significant change. What were the factors influencing your choice, and how did it impact your journey? So, I don't know if anybody else has a story that they would like to share for that. You guys know I don't like reading aloud, but I'll do it anyway.
Anybody out there want to join in?
Huh? You do have a story. Okay.
I'll share a story.
Yeah. But you want to hear me stutter and stumble on my own words and then forget that my own life even happened, all while telling a story from my own point of view. Awesome. Sounds good. I've never been good at storytelling. I also have never believed that I have a story to tell. Not in any way, shape, or form. There is not any point in my life that I have ever believed that I have a moment I could share with someone on purpose, like with a prompt to do so. I've never felt like there was anything significant to say. So I was waiting to see if I could share anything, knowing that we were going to kind of do this month. I was like, bitch, something should come. Like something. I was hoping this fucking bitch, my sister, would share because she probably has a story for all 4 prompts, but she's even more shy with her own personal stories than maybe I am. And I'm just trying to make her feel a little more brave. So we're going to do it anyway. Even though it's not a big fucking deal. It's a nothing story, but I'm going to tell
6-word memoir.
Start with a 6-word memoir and then expand.
I like it. A good one, Vanessa.
Rebecca, is this how you start your book, by a 6-word?
Okay, if I had to start my book on 6 words, so this is the start of my story for this week. It's from last year, but it goes, I'm 39 and I've never lived. That's where my first 6 words would be.
That sounds like a great story. I would add.
But it doesn't carry on like you think it will after that. So it's
no, you catch people.
It's a thing. I'll post about it. Okay, bitch, but I do expect you to share at some point this month. We have 2 more prompts. Do you guys just want me to like post the other 2 so you can kind of think ahead about them? I don't know.
Up to you.
All
right. I'll share with you week 3 prompt a little bit later, but for now I will read.
Push that around.
I forget English as I'm speaking. I always stutter and I'm super shaky. So just bear with me. Anyways.
You also might yawn the whole time.
And I also, I should put my glasses on. They actually help me not yawn while I'm reading. The kids ask me to read and I'm like, why do you want me to read? All I do is yawn while I'm reading. I don't know why. I'm not sure. Anyway. Oh, that looks a lot better. Okay. Close calls and frozen cars. I'm 39 and I've never lived more than 20 minutes away from my family, which is another story all on its own. So when my husband and I made the decision to buy a house 2 hours away from home, it wasn't without extreme hesitation on my part. We honestly never thought we'd own a home in California. So a major move, and yes, major, don't come for me, was unfortunately inevitable. However, it's important to note here that nothing ever goes our way, ever. It's probably our fault, but true nonetheless. The day we closed on our first home, we were also on day 1 of our first major family vacation ever. We just landed in JFK Airport when we got the call. And all the craze of trying to get our luggage packed and make sure we didn't forget anything we could possibly need for an entire week on the East Coast in winter, we forgot to actually pay for our house. Apparently you have to pay for them. Insert face palm here. They call us to say, quote, hi, so you have until 5 p.m. today to actually transfer the down payment. There was no or else to that statement. So obviously my husband gets off the phone and lets me know what's going on. We obviously didn't have the paperwork needed to get that completed right there and then. We try to tuck away into a little cubby in the airport where there isn't a ton of announcements overhead to make some calls. It's 4 p.m. in New York, and our personal banks, we know, close at Eastern time at 5. So we have 1 hour. CJ gets on the phone, calls them back to get routing information, etc., whatever else we need for the transfer. He calls our bank, and they just about shit knowing that we have less than an hour for a transfer of this size to be approved and then actually go through. We're sweating. It's typical of us to forget things as we both have ADHD, but this one is huge. So I'm standing around trying to figure out what's going on when I can only hear my husband's side of the conversation. It's literally 10 minutes to 5 p.m. The kids are running in circles around us like wild dogs because we just got off a 6-hour flight and all have to pee. Our mom is with us and trying to help as much as she can with these little beasts. It's all a mess. Anyway, I'm trying to calm the kids down when there's another announcement overhead, so I can't actually hear what CJ is saying at this point, but he's almost in tears. My stomach lurches into my chest. I finally see him mouth, "Seriously, thank you for all your help, blah, blah, blah." He then comes over, hugs me tightly. We kiss, hug the kids and our mom. Oh my God, we just bought a house. Holy shit. Now we need to celebrate, but we need to get our damn luggage, get the bougie rental car CJ absolutely had to have, and get to the hotel before we can do any of that. So we rush to pick up the last bags on the carousel, trek across the huge airport to car rentals, get the car seats in, get the car all packed up. Everyone hops in. We're all fucking freezing, and the rental car won't start. Of course. It's just the way it always goes for us, right? The bougie car that CJ had to have wouldn't start. So that's my story.
Now you need to tell them about his tantrums that he has with his fancy car.
Not part of the story.
No, I like the story. So I obviously know you got the house, but there's a part of me where I'm like,
I didn't know that.
I knew obviously you're living it, but like I'm you're reading it. I'm like, what happens? What happened?
What happened? We literally were getting that call. Like they had to leave a message because we were in air. And we get down and he's like, "We didn't fucking pay for the house." And I was like, "What do you mean we didn't pay for the house?
Does it just happen?
What do you mean?
We have to transfer how much right fucking now? And we have 1 hour to get our bank to approve it." Sounds realistic. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, we
Great
did celebrate.
story. You did not yawn or stutter.
I did have to. I had to kind of monotone through it. I have a really hard time with inflection because it does make me yawn when I start to get excited. I tried not to.
Desiree just did it for you.
Just read.
I've been yawning for a while.
Desiree yawned. She's already read it. I was like, I guess I'll tell this story. It's not a story, but I just don't feel like there's anything like majorly significant. So maybe it was just a little funny. I don't know.
No, it was significant, like you said. Like
Enough.
that's a big
That moment. That was a big deal.
And,
yeah.
and we know you've gone through bigger things, but that was a good one. That was a good one to share.
Right? You're not sure until you just do. So there we are. Anyway, Desiree has plenty to share and she's not ready yet. So it's okay.
Next week, Des.
She's like, "I don't think I have anything to share." And I was like, "That's funny because I know I don't, but I'm going to do it anyway." And I know that you do. I sent her like 800 ideas. And I was like, all of these are things that as a reader, I'd be like, and then what?
Des, you write it.
Oh my God. And then what?
I'll read it for you.
See, she was like, "Hey, if I write something when you read it," I was like, "First of all, it's your story. You should. But yes, of course, we would read it for you if you didn't."
You don't have to put your name to it, Desiree.
Right?
Did I have to change my underwear? No, but I am full stress sweating right now. Like I am.
Did you have to change your underwear?
I didn't. I did not shit my pants. However, I made it through. I read to you guys.
That could be your next story about how you made it through the reading.
I didn't shit my pants. I swear I didn't shart. Something like that. I mean, at the airport.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I was trying not to piss my pants, and I had a couple kids running around me all like, "Hey, what's going on? Let's go. Let's go. We got the rental. We got to get to the hotel. I want to eat. I'm hungry."
And you're like, just like, you want to listen. Like, what's he saying?
Oh, yeah. I'm over here like, I'm trying to like, you know when you like mouth what you think someone's saying?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you want to ask, what did they say? What are they saying? And they're focusing. You don't want to
Stop it! Stop!
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? Are we good? Are we okay? Are we good? Stop!
Do you get your ear like to the phone, like try to listen? And they can't hear
I did.
anymore. And...
No, I couldn't hear over the fucking intercoms. That shit was a lot of shit.
You didn't seem nervous at all.
As mom knows, because she was there. So CJ's mom came with us because she was visiting at the time.
that's right.
So she decided to extend her trip in New York with us because we asked her to.
Mhm.
So instead of her flying home, we just all flew to New York. So that was how our trip started. There is a lot more to this trip. It really started at that point. As I said, things don't go our way. So there's a lot more that happened after that. It was just like your like quick moment, like we almost didn't fucking get the house we bought. But there was like a storm that we got like, rained out of, and
My favorite part of her stories are when CJ throws tantrums.
CJ throws the biggest tantrums anyone would ever know. And then I remember him throwing tantrums and the kids seeing it and like starting to kind of chuckle. And then him being like, why are they throwing a tantrum? And I'm like, honestly, you literally show them how to throw a tantrum. You literally throw your arms and legs like in full adult tantrums. Desiree knows because she's actually seen that he literally will be like,
He does like a fucking toddler. Like even CJ fucking knows. CJ's not going to deny it. CJ also finds comedy from it. Yes. He has sent videos of himself throwing tantrums to me, and Tosh has sent them. Like it's like just what it is, and he knows it's funny and ridiculous, and it's great.
Yeah. This was not the moment he threw the tantrum. The tantrum came when we got the rental car that he thought was going to be super fucking special.
This is my favorite one.
So he was like,
what kind of car was it? Can I ask?
A fucking Tesla!
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A Tesla. He's like, hey, babe.
Wait, Tesla. It was a car.
Those are too small.
Did it not
That's
start?
my response. Those are too small. There's 5 of us that need to fit in this thing with 2 car seats and a bunch of luggage. And I'm an adult. Where am I going to sit?
Right.
I'm not going to put your mom in the back seat. How about I drive? I didn't want to drive that fucking beast. That thing was a shit car. First of all, they're not worth what their price tag is. Not worth it. They're about as comfy as a Jeep. They got leg room. That is a plus. And if you're driving through New York City for the first time ever, there's no roof really, so you can see everything.
Oh yeah.
Look at that baby. He's all, plug me in, mama. There it is. Hi, Odin. Hi, buddy. Hi.
Oh my goodness. No.
He said,
I don't want to hear that.
Out my ear. He said, get her out my ear. Anyway, yeah. So CJ rents a Tesla. We get to it. We get it all packed up. Get the car seats in. I squeeze between the kids. Everybody else is cozy except for the fact that we are fucking freezing because CJ can't figure out how to start the car. Would not start. Is it maybe not charged? Tasha! Maybe you should go inside and ask. Or dare I suggest something so rational? His mom's sitting next to him. And she's like, maybe you should just go inside and see if maybe we don't know what we're doing. Or he's like, oh my God, he snaps at all of us, going crazy. The kids are like, I'm hungry. I'm tired. Can we just like get going? And he's like, in the front seat, gets out and is like, fuck this. So like, it's 20 minutes while he's still trying to get service in a parking lot that's covered in the rain just to look up how to do this shit.
How to turn
on inside.
So was it the car?
I already read the manual. Go inside. We're cold.
So was it the car? Was the car having an issue?
Don't know if the car was having an issue. They didn't want to come out and check it. They just decided, fuck it, let's switch cars.
Oh.
But they give us the same fucking car.
And
however, they did show him how to start it this time. So we get to the hotel. we are all dressed in like our travel clothes, and we go downstairs to the only place that we don't have to walk through rain to get to, like a Morton Steakhouse, which is not cheap and also very fancy. So we are in our dress down clothes having a super fancy dinner next to a lot of very well-dressed people who don't look like they've been traveling all day and almost didn't get to buy a house. And that was the best baked potato I've ever eaten.
I bet it was.
It was a really nice cocktail. The food was fantastic, obviously. The kids split a steak and were very fucking happy because it was like a $60 steak. So,
oh my God.
We did that one time in New York. The rest was pizza.
Pizza and bagels from here on.
Pizza and bagels. Exactly.
Kidding.
That's all you need after that. We did like one. It was hilarious. Yeah.
Get the
Look at
real
it.
New York
It was
experience.
the fucking damn car. And I did sit sideways in the back seat. That was the only way my ass could fit next to the kids. I sat sideways. But once we were like going through like the main areas, like where all the billboards are and it's all flashy and lights and stuff, all of us were like, it was so cool. So cool.
Love it.
Yeah. You know, we only went to New York because Leo is obsessed with the Phantom of the Opera, and we had to go see the Phantom of the Opera before it closed on Broadway for him. That was his big dream.
Love it.
And we did it. And Leo in the theater is something everyone should get to experience.
Yes.
Was he jumping up?
Theater with you.
Yeah,
singing along?
This kid, he sang along. He knew the entire thing. He has watched every version of it, including the silent film. He's obsessed. He's our film kid. He's going to make movies when he grows up. That's his big dream, right? But he knows everything about these movies. He knows all the actors. He knows all the songs. He knows what's coming. He knows how to prepare his sister for a scary scene. He knows all these things.
Oh.
So anyways, he's sitting in there and he's like, oh my God, we're here. And everyone is looking. And as the curtains lift, he is screaming and everyone around us is cracking up. We got a couple that are like, this kid, I don't want to be anywhere near him. And we're like, you're never going to experience it like this again. You're welcome. So enjoy. Like,
You can be happy
to
about anything. So
exactly. Yeah. Have you ever been this excited?
Ever been this excited?
I got to go read my addiction book.
Oh.
Is this like a school book about addiction? Or you got something kinky we all need to hear about? Like you're addicted. Addicted.
Like your personal addiction or
Right? What book is this? Anyway. Yeah, so there was that. But carry on. Anybody else want to share with our prompt this week? Teen?
yeah. So I couldn't even write this down. Yeah, I don't know. I started to try. It was a little, I don't know, awkward, emotional. I'm not sure. So I was like, I better just spit it out.
Off the cuff.
You know? So I mentioned my grandfather earlier, and I grew up in his house, and he was absolutely my person. You know, I was born 2 weeks to the day after my grandmother died. And that man just latched on to me. Like, I bear her name. Her name was Christine. Everybody called her Chris, and everybody calls me Teen. And
that's why.
We were just together always. He rocked me to sleep every night. He, you know, read me my books, picked me up from school. He was just my person. And the only time I've ever seen him cry was at my wedding. And I was 31 years old and he was 98. And to see a little 98-year-old man cry is about the sweetest thing you could ever see.
Yeah.
And so when my husband and I got married, we didn't take a honeymoon right away. We were waiting a year and saving money, and we really wanted to go to Italy. But that didn't happen because our dog needed surgery. So our budget got slashed real quick. But we did take a trip, and this ended up being my first trip to New Orleans. Was our honeymoon a year after we got married. The night before, I am packing, I am panicking, I am, it's a 9-hour drive from where I live, and we're going for 6 days. So I'm packing, trying to get the car loaded, trying to get everything in order, and I look at my phone, and I have missed like 20 calls from various members of my family. And first of all, let me just say, no one ever calls me. Like, I am a hermit. I like my house. Nobody is bothering me. Everybody knows I'm going on this trip. So I pick up the phone and I call my mom, and she's like, "Where have you been? Your grandfather fell and he's at the hospital and you need to come down here." And so, of course, I just stop what I'm doing and I go down there. And my mom is there, and she's like, "It's not good, and he's definitely not going to make it. But they don't know if it's going to be a day or a week or a month. There's no way to tell." So he had a small stroke, and he fell down our stairs and hit his head on the hardwood floors. Now, my grandfather had always told all of us, "I don't want any special measures taken. I don't want to be intubated. I don't want it. When it's my time, it's my time." And the man was 99 years old. He lived a full, good, long life. But so now I have to decide, do I take my honeymoon that I have been saving and planning and, is supposed to be this
joyous time
for me and my husband, or do I stay? And do I stay here with my mom and my sister, who had just had a little baby? And do I stay here or do I go? And I am just, I can't decide. I'm just sobbing. I'm just guilt ridden because I can't. I'm guilty if I don't go on my honeymoon. I'm guilty if I leave my mother. There is no scenario in this where I do not feel guilty for the outcome. So my mother very, very much was like, "You have to go. And if something here changes, I will call you. Like, just get in the car and go." And this was the most stressful 9-hour car ride of my life. I mean, the whole time I'm expecting a phone call. I'm expecting to have to turn the car around. I don't even know if we're going to make it to our destination. It's raining. It's absolutely just so stressful. Well, we make it to New Orleans. Our bed and breakfast is beautiful and lovely, and I'm still just this ball of nerves and guilt and all of these things. And we get unpacked, and I put on some new clothes and freshen up and try to feel like a human, and we walk around the corner to this little burger bar place, and we walked in and opened the door, and the guy behind the bar just looked at us and he said, "Welcome home." And I just thought, like, I don't know what it was about that simple, kind, like, embracing, warm phrase. And he just seemed to me, and he's like, "Welcome home." And I'm just like, I need a shot and a beer and a cheeseburger and all these things. And you know what? We ended up staying the entire week. My aunts came up and stayed with my mother, and were there with her. And after I got home, the first thing I did was went and visited him in the hospital, and he died about 5 hours later, after I got home. So I still carry guilt for leaving my mother to deal with all the things that she had to deal with. And I don't think I will ever not carry that guilt. So it changed me in that way. I think that there will always be a measure of guilt that I carry for not being there for her for the 6 days. But I also fell in love with New Orleans. I had such a wonderful time with my husband. It was a relaxing, romantic, wonderful time that we had that week. Now, I never forgot what was going on in the back of my head.
Right.
But I absolutely still think I made the right choice by getting in the car and going.
Aww.
So that's why I had trouble writing this down, because I was going to just cry the whole time. But
that was a sweet story.
Sometimes they're easier just to get through.
Yeah.
Wow. First of all, I'm crying. I don't know if you saw that. And thank you for sharing that incredible story. A lot of us, whether we realize it or not, can be just as connected to our grandparents as we are to our siblings or, our children or our parents, things like that. And a lot of us, we're still raised in the generation, in that generation, where our grandparents were in our lives a lot. And so, while we did get a lot of the negatives that come with being raised by your grandparents, how rough that shit is. Because we're a step down from the crap you pulled on our parents, but we're still getting it. But also the connection can sometimes be that much greater. So he would have wanted you to go. Right.
Totally.
He sure as shit sounded like he held on for his little teeny to get her ass down there.
He didn't want you to feel guilty, more guilty. He was like, no, he's not going to do that to you.
Oh, right. It sounds like he was like, I'm not going to fucking die while she's down there and make this shit the worst thing she's ever decided on. No way. I'm going to wait till she gets back.
And we're have a happy honeymoon.
Oh, what did you call him?
Grandpa.
Just Grandpa.
Just
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Very simple. Aww.
Everybody else called him Pops, but he was just Grandpa.
Yeah. Aw, that is a fabulous, fabulous story. You are a storyteller, and I don't know if you share it with everyone regularly, but you are also such an incredible poet.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not everybody knows that, but your poetry
right?
too. And you haven't written in a while. By the way, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something new because her poetry, literally gut-wrenching. She is such a writer. Some people are just meant to do certain things in their life, and this is definitely one of them for you, is writing.
Do you see why I love her? Thanks. Sorry. Yelling at my husband.
You're like, yeah, you see, we're connected forever because I definitely need a hype bitch, and that's a hype bitch. I'm always gonna be a hype bitch. I'm good at that.
Oh, I do. I write poetry. If you didn't know, I'm on Instagram at Andy Christine Writer. So you can look me up.
So good. And bring tissues. That is not the kind of poetry you go in without tissues. And lots of water. You're going to need some sustenance before you cry it out.
Yeah. Always hydrate, ladies. Always hydrate.
Always hydrate. Hydrate for Andy Christine poetry. Anyways, thank you for sharing again this week. It's hard to sometimes come up with something to share. I know that these prompts are kind of specific. I know that in our book they have a themed night kind of dealy, which is kind of what we're going with, but I wanted you guys to have a little bit more to work with. I don't know, whatever. If you don't come up with a story, not a big deal. And if you come up with 4 stories or more,
better.
Thank you. Makes it easier. So we're not all on the spot, even though it was our fucking idea.
So honestly, this prompt he's told is choices. Basically, was all I could hear, and I am a massive 3-6 Mafia fan, and they have an album and a film, by the way. Well, 2 films called Choices. And then so like it was like on repeat in my head for like 3 days, and I was like, I can't think of anything to say. Yes, he waited. That's how I feel too, Sherry. But
Not the time. Not the time. Not the time.
3-6 Mafia, Choices. Check it out.
You guys are right. I remember you being a little fan of 3-6 Mafia.
A little one?
Just a little fan.
A teensy?
Smush. Little fan. Just coach.
Pioneers.
Pioneer! You will never hear that phrase again. But you did hear it. Oh my goodness, I love it. Has anyone else felt like they wanted to share but didn't know how or what to share?
I don't know how to share. I do, but I don't.
Either of the prompts make you feel like, man, I kind of wish I had a story to share, or I wish I knew how to share a story if I had it?
I can't. I know I have, but I can't like think of it, or I'm like, it's not enough, or it's not.
It doesn't feel like significant enough to
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
So you're telling me my little moment getting off the fucking airplane and CJ having a tantrum felt like a moment for me? No, it was literally right, but it wasn't until it was. And so for me, it was like, you know, I went through it and it didn't feel like a deal. It didn't feel like anything. And then today when I was like, I think I'm going to write something and I don't know what I'm going to write. And I literally started writing. I'm 39 and I've never lived away from home. That's it. And I thought where I was going to go with that was how hard it was to move away from my mom and my grandmother and my brother. Because everyone else has moved away. Like Sherry moved away. That was easy for CJ. So he didn't have to leave anyone.
Yeah.
At least not really. I mean, he's so close to my family. So he is leaving them, but in a different way. And Desiree, obviously I'm a bestie here. She already left me. So that's like an easier one there. But then it's my mom and my grandmother who's, you know, in her 90s and my brother. And I've never lived away from them. I've never not had a weekly dinner. I've never not had a weekly dinner in 40 years. So think about it that way. And so me trying to move away was very hard. And when I thought where I thought I was going with this story was the night that we actually finished moving, finished packing. My mom had been there all day helping us, and I had to hug her and say goodbye. And it wasn't goodbye. It was just like, I'll see you in a couple days. But it didn't feel like that.
Right.
So I thought that's where my story was going. I thought it was going to be my mom whispering in my ear at the end of that story, and it was not. It went to this fucking hilarious little place where CJ had a fucking tantrum. One of several on that fucking trip.
A mantrum.
Several mantrums on that trip, and it literally was like, how the fuck did we get here? But I didn't know that's where I was going. I literally thought I was going in a different direction. I was like, I thought I was going in like a heartfelt direction. 39 years, and I never lived away from my mama, and I've never been more than like 20 minutes from her in my life. And nope, I went whole New York City on that one. So you never know. And I didn't think I was going to write anything, and I didn't think it fucking mattered. And does it matter? Not necessarily, but it's still a story to share.
Thinking small moments in your life, though, are more relatable to other people because we all have those minute moments that make a life.
Yeah, they all
are not profound in the moment you're going through it. Exactly, Rebecca. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for the stories. Yeah. Thanks for the tears.
I did a good job not crying, but
I opted not for mascara today because I wasn't sure what you were going to bring to the table.
Oh.
Okay. I went and I did a little liquid eyeliner only on the tips of my lashes.
Love it.
I was like, those won't cry off. I'm good. Next week's prompt. I do have it right here. So let me read it to you guys. Week 3. Describe a moment of profound connection with a stranger or someone you didn't expect to connect with. Explore the emotions and insights that emerge from this unexpected encounter.
I already have my story. All right, go.
What the fuck? I'm over here like, I don't meet strangers like that. What are you talking about?
Literally,
like I know.
Everyone you know was a stranger at some point, except for me, bitch, because I was there first. But Dominique was a stranger at some point. Your husband was.
I didn't know when.
I was a stranger.
I've known Dominique forever. We don't know when. We were just there. It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Right
what
here.
came first? We've just known each other forever.
Yeah,
That's
just
just
stranger. You just reached out to me on the internet like a weird.
Thank you.
Oh,
Like a
A chance encounter here led to our little bestie here, Christine. So when you said that your name was Christine and your grandmother's name was Christine, all I could think of
was I liked that a lot.
And I love that she went by Chris and you go by Teen.
Yeah, that.
And I was like, I know you've mentioned your name and kind of who gave you the nickname of Teen, but like you didn't really get into like the full backstory of your name. And I thought that was like, you shared it with us. And then also being, the Phantom of the Opera fans here, Christine is the main character. And I just keep hearing him sing her name as you're saying this story. And I'm like, Christine.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Love Phantom.
Bitch. Good story. I hope everyone feels like they can share at some point. And since you guys are here, you know what? I think I'm going to read week 4, just so you know this is coming to. I'm going to let you guys know, just in case you might want to think of something ahead and, you don't feel like you're on the spot so much. So week 4 will be recount a personal transformation or growth that stemmed from a mistake or failure. How did you navigate through the setbacks? And what lessons did you carry forward from the experience? So that will be our last prompt.
Good one.
We might end up playing a little game at the end of the month about just to kind of help us all share. We did have a little bit that we could have done tonight, but we filled our time.
Oh yeah.
Dominique knew we were gonna, and I was like, what if we do? She's like, bitch. That was funny. You were like, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna have a problem. We didn't last week. And I was like, but what if we do? You must have known.
Good evening. Good.
Dominique was like, we're not gonna prep anything for this. Stupid.
But what you had going was a good one. So
It did not fucking matter. We ended up wasting time. That was perfect. It's like you knew though. You were like,
But I think the short story.
Whatever, Tasha. Tasha also. I always have to be over prepared. That's what you guys need to know. Just that.
No, the short stories give us a lot to talk about, and we go off on tangents. Based
Yeah.
on.
Really do. Like everybody all of a sudden has ADHD, even if they don't. Good night, Sherry. All right, so we will see everyone back next week. I hope everyone enjoys their day off tomorrow for those who get them.
Yeah.
Yay, good. Teen gets a day off. I'm sure Anna will get the day off. She's also in that kind of field. And then CJ gets the day off. And does Houston get tomorrow off?
Well, he's works for a bank, so
so he's home. And Manny, I think, would get tomorrow off unless he's just making a choice to work because he loves money.
I have no idea.
Well, you'll go find
I'm
out.
sure his
I
office
didn't even know
is
that
not-
tomorrow was the day off. Mabel said it randomly, and I was like, "What are you talking
It is
about?"
for not.
With the work he does, because he helps get people home loans, which helped us get our home. But I would imagine that the office is closed, but all the people who are wanting to buy a house, they're going to be like, hey, are you free?
Yeah, there's that.
So, make it up for being a lump on the couch all day.
Nothing.
Good.
I got nothing.
You need to feel better, bitch. That's what you need to do.
You did a thumbs up.
No.
Well, how did you get fireworks? What the hell did you do?
She's like,
Was it like? Is it like?
Oh, what? Got another thumbs up. Oh, you got fireworks.
What did you do?
Make a little. No, my hands don't do that. Oh, I got it.
They did.
My camera doesn't like me.
Desiree, you gotta make them more heart shaped.
What? Did I make it butt shaped? Like, what was it?
Hey, look, bitch.
I can't even
You might
see.
just have to turn it on. Remember, Dominique was trying to teach me earlier how to do it.
No, I couldn't hear. I heard you guys talking about it, but I didn't hear what she's doing.
I'm sorry. I've never turned anything on. I don't know where this is coming from.
I'm sure your husband begs to differ.
See, I don't know.
No.
Wow, that would be totally obnoxious after a while. And not knowing what the fuck is doing it.
Like you're just talking with your hands and this shit like flies off.
You're just being Italian and you're just
yeah. Exactly. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Rebecca, feel better so that you can maybe join us next week and maybe tell another story or maybe tell a story because I know you had us read it last week. But anyway, maybe you'll have another one to share. Hopefully someone else feels inclined to share next week. And if not, no pressure, bitches.
And you guys also don't have to be on camera.
No.
Again, remember you can do even like this thing.
Oh yes.
So if you don't want to be on camera.
Yeah. And also if you just want to send it to one of us to read, because some of us are just
another option.
Incredible readers.
I will be happy to read for you.
Thank you. I was not trying to toot my horn there. I was not.
We don't
if
need
you
her
want
sweat.
to read it, very monotone.
I'll read like Ben Stein.
Exactly.
Bueller.
That's
I'll
how
set
I
up
am.
Siri to read it in like the Indian voice.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ask Siri to read it as like a Scottish man, because
okay, I had the Australian dude for my directions for like ever.
Ooh.
And then I got the Indian dude because he was super amusing. And it would like confuse people when they'd be in the car. Love that. I don't know how he like defaulted to like an American woman, but it's annoying and boring.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
It updated, I'm sure.
The updates, they're so lame. Anyways, all right, bitches. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you all for week 3 next week. Have a good night.
Good night.